There are six iconic dates in the history of the Green Bay Packers. August 11th, 1919. January 28th, 1959. December 31st, 1967. February 11th, 1992. April 6th, 1993. And today, August 28th, 2025. Welcome to episode number 110 of the GBC podcast. We are the official podcast of the Lot 1 Tailgate Party, which is at Lambeau Field every home game. And this is episode 110, created August 28th, 2025. I'm John. I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. Along with me, Jeff in Minnesota and Neil on the East Coast. Say hello, gentlemen, and tell us what you're drinking.
I am so excited. So this is all NZ everything. Other Half Brewing Triple Dry Hopped Imperial IPA.
Based on what happened today, is this heaven? But I'm having Heaven Hill grain to glass bourbon whiskey.
I was caught so off guard, I threw a bunch of ingredients together and I made a blind Russian. You can find us on YouTube and Twitter at Green Bay Chat and Facebook at the GBC Podcast, Green Bay Chat. And just the audio is available on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify by searching for Green Bay Chat. Our topic, it's one person. His name is MICAH Parsons. Okay, maybe we'll talk about Kenny Clark a little bit as well. But it's MICAH freaking Parsons.
Unbe-fucking-lievable. That is the only response that I could possibly have. You thought about the things that could change the season, that could take the season and move it to an entirely different direction, and MICAH Parsons was the one thing. You can say, well, we need these people to step up, those people to step up. Oh, or we could get a potential defensive player of the year as a starter at the weakest place of our defense. Holy fucking shit.
Wow. Neil, thank you. We might as well just shut down right now. I think we're done. A surprise? Social media? This is when social media really serves an awesome function. Just to watch people lose their shit on social media, but not only people on social media, people experienced sportscasters and things like that. People on the talk shows, everything. Go watch the videos. It's fascinating as this broke in real time what everybody's reaction was.
Well, this is literally a day that will be remembered in those dates, right? And social media was en fuego today, and we discovered it right away.
Once Neil, you finally got onto it, John, to be fair.
I was working, Neil. My goodness. I get a text message from Neil. I'm like, oh, no. And all I did was I opened up Twitter and I just typed in Parsons, and there it was. I knew where you were going with that, Neil. But that match lit and it went.
To be fair, there were sort of hints, right? There was pillow guys and porn stars, and there were all the other parts where there were these rumors that everyone wanted to believe, and everyone said, well, there's no way that this is actually, this random Reddit person. They're clearly lying. And the water was put on the fire by MICAH Parsons' brother, but there was enough interest there that there clearly was a there.
How much interest, Neil? So much interest that nobody in the state of Wisconsin cares that the Milwaukee Brewers lost today and are 5-8 since their 14-game winning streak. Literally, as soon as that game was over, they said, we better announce this MICAH Parsons trade so nobody notices that the Brewers are on a slide.
I just can't think of how excited I have been about a single trade, a single transaction, right? The only thing in my entire sports history that is even comparable is me as an Arsenal fan when Arsenal was sort of in the doldrums, and then we signed the star from Real Madrid, Mesut Ozil, and there's a chant with this. We've got Parsons, MICAH Parsons. I just don't think you understand. He's Matt LaFleur's man. He's better than Strahan. We've got MICAH Parsons.
I feel like that is going to get clipped for TikTok, Neil. That is excellent. and we talk
but it's that level of excitement. It's like, this is a franchise-changing transaction. That's what it is.
And let's talk about other transactions. Most recently, Charles Woodson. Now, Charles Woodson was a throwaway at the time. Nobody wanted him. He was down to two teams between Tampa Bay and Green Bay was going to allow him to do what he wanted to do. He had his career turned around in Green Bay, becoming Defensive Player of the Year. Before that, when they traded for Brett Favre, nobody knew, not only did nobody know who Brett Favre was, they didn't know how to spell his name correctly, for crying out loud.
Or pronounce it.
And some people still can't, to be fair. But
Reggie White is comparable. Reggie White was the big splash. Reggie White was the free agent. Now, this isn't a free agent signing. We're giving up something for Micah Parsons. We didn't have to give up anything for Reggie White, but that was the beginning of free agency with Reggie White. And as far as player personnel moves, now we could talk about the John Hadl trade, how devastating it was, but we know that story. This is in the opposite
sorry,
direction.
Micah Parsons is not a 35-year-old washed-up quarterback, John.
No, and you're not giving up anywhere near what you had to give up for John Hadl at the time or anything else. This is a first-round pick in 26, a first-round pick in 27, and Kenny Clark. Now, yes, we like Kenny Clark.
But by the same token, all this means is that interior defensive line gets the chance to step forward. Devontae Wyatt, Colby Wood, Nazir Stackhouse, KGB, Warren Brinson, all of these interior players get the chance to step into the Kenny Clark role and move a step forward. And I'm excited for what the possibilities are for those players as well.
And not only that, they're going to get single teamed now, probably, right? It makes their job perhaps a whole lot easier on that line.
And I'm wearing my Lucas Van Ness jersey because guess what? Yes, that other side and Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, now who are rotating with one another. Oh yeah, they're going to have opportunities to absolutely shine on that defense.
Right. It instantly makes quite a few individual players better. You said Devontae Wyatt. It instantly makes him better. Whoever's going to be on the opposite side of Parsons, whether it's Van Ness or Gary, instantly becomes better. I think it makes Edgerrin Cooper even more dynamic than he already is. And ideally, it improves Quay Walker's game this year as well. Talking about what Jeff said in getting double teamed. Okay, so you want to keep chipping a tight end on Rashawn Gary or keep double teaming someone in the middle? That's great. We'll move Micah Parsons around. Hey, maybe Micah Parsons gets double teamed and now somebody else has a great season. There are so many pieces that can be moved around right now. This defense becomes dynamic. And if Jeff Hafley does not turn this into a head coaching position somewhere down the road, he did something terribly wrong.
I mean, Xavier McKinney, right? The quarterbacks are going to have less time to do everything. So McKinney, Bullard, Williams, Nixon, these players are all going to have those opportunities to do more because the quarterbacks are going to be forced to think faster. And quarterbacks that have to think faster make mistakes.
Or get sacked.
And what does Micah Parsons bring to the table? Let's just look at the statistics. I mean, Neil, you said it. This is a kid who, in his first 4 years in the league, has been defensive MVP or even MVP candidate. In 4 years, 52.5 sacks. Of those 4 years, the fewest number of sacks he's had in a season is 12, and that was last year when he only played 13 games. Other than that, he's had 13 and a half, and 14 sacks per season. Just that presence right there brings a lot to the table.
And you can also look at what the reactions of other fans have been. You look at friends who I have who are Cowboys fans. They are all depressed that they've given up Micah Parsons. Friends who are fans of other teams in the NFC East, all of them are excited because Micah Parsons is no longer in the NFC East. And on the other hand, you look at fans of other teams from the NFC North, and they're just sort of shrinking back thinking, oh shit, the Packers took a huge step forward.
Well, yes, there's also the facetious way of looking at it and saying the Packers were so afraid of Caleb Williams, they had to go and get Micah Parsons. I saw that one up there as well. Oh no, JJ McCarthy, we better get Micah Parsons. But Neil, you even mentioned, the NFC East fans, there's that level of schadenfreude in there watching Jerry Jones just continue to make spectacularly bad decisions for the Dallas Cowboys.
But again, this helps those teams as well. And I think that's the thing. It's like, yes, we love laughing at Jerry Jones, and Packers fans also love laughing at Jerry Jones. We're not laughing at Jerry Jones right now. We are ecstatic for what Jerry Jones did for our team. His inability to negotiate properly, his attempt to get out cheaply with Micah Parsons. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Jerry Jones, for being 80 plus years old and senile.
Jeff, what's the barometric pressure there in the Twin Cities right now?
A little bit of a shock. This is not something that the Packers do. This is very uncharacteristic. So Vikings fans seem to be like, we'll see how this play out. I think there's maybe a little cope involved here. Actually, a lot of cope. Maybe not wanting to say, Boy, this just took a turn, didn't it? Getting back a little bit to Jerry Jones. So, as the owner and the general manager, this guy makes all the decisions and he thinks he's just hot shit, doesn't he? Well, what have the Dallas Cowboys done over the last, I don't know, 30 years? Well, not a whole hell of a lot, have they?
That's exactly true. It's been 30 years since they've won a Super Bowl, and that's generational. I mean, think about it. When the Green Bay Packers made it to Super Bowl 31, how long it had been. It was 29 years, and that was, for us, first time in a lifetime. So you have a lot of kids of Cowboys fans that are looking for that, and now they're looking at their team and their owner and saying, what happens now? Why did that happen?
Trading away your best player when there is perhaps a window of success. No, let's just fuck up the negotiation.
It's not just a best player. It is a best player in his prime. You're talking about somebody who is 26 years old. This is not somebody who's, like a Trey Hendrickson or something like that we were talking about trading for earlier, who, yes, he's going to be great for a year or two. Micah Parsons is somebody who can be great for many years in Green Bay. This is a player in his prime.
Neil, and I want to talk specifically to that. Micah Parsons is one of the 29 first-round picks in the common draft era who was selected to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 4 seasons. He now will become the only one to play for a different team in his 5th season. Wow.
Yeah, it's that youth and in his prime, right? When you talk about, but we're giving away 2 first-round picks.
Fine.
Is there any chance that either of your first-round picks of the next 2 seasons will be a Micah Parsons
or that the
player?
sum of them will be at that level? That's the thing. It's not just that either one; it's that the sum of them. And no, the odds are against it because, well, the draft is still a crapshoot. And
it's right. It's taking that what is known versus what you hope for. You are getting a known commodity by trading for Micah Parsons right now.
And let's just take the other thing. If you said, let's give away 2 30-second picks in the draft for a Super Bowl, it's a complete no-brainer. Like you've got a window.
Technically, that would be for 2 Super Bowls, Neil.
Yes, and please. But whatever. I mean, this is the thing. You've got to go for it when you've got the opportunity. We talked about it last episode with Ed Policy and the potential for Micah Parsons. When you've got the possibility, you've got to go for it. It's one thing to be consistently a top 10 franchise in the NFL. It's another thing to win a Super Bowl. Winning a Super Bowl is different. You go for those chances when you have those chances.
But getting back to the Cowboys, like at what point did they say, okay, these are not going to be top 10 draft choices? The Packers over the last half decade at least have picked in the 20s. I mean, these are not like lottery pick or, high draft choices. So at what point really did the wheels fall off and we're just going to try and save face? There's just so much weird about this.
I want to know actually what other teams tried to do, because there was statements that the Ravens were thinking about trading for Parsons or whatever.
Bills.
It's like if you're a team that's thinking about the Super Bowl as where you need to be, why would you not try to outbid the Packers at this point? Like, this seems like a no-brainer if you're one of those other teams.
That's a tactic most likely is if Brian Gutekunst is on the phone, he's not saying, well, here's our offer, call us back. He did not get off that phone. He didn't give any other team an opportunity to call in. And that's my gut feeling on what's going on there. I think you've got maybe at the behest of Ed Policy, but Brian Gutekunst definitely was aggressive in this manner. And he wore down Jerry Jones to get away with 2 first-round picks. Oh, and let's talk about the player they get in return, Kenny Clark. Now, Kenny has been a very solid player on the defense for the Green Bay Packers. He was drafted in 2016, and that seems like a long time ago, but Kenny was drafted young. He is only 29 years old right now, and he is a guy that missed a handful of games, I think 7 games in his career as a Green Bay Packer. Now, he's a run stuffer. He's not known for his sack production. Some people will look at this and say, well, he only had 1 sack last season, and that is true. He had 7.5 the year before that. He only has 35 sacks in his career, but that's not his role. His role is to be that run stuffer in the middle, and he has been such an anchor on this defense for a long time. He did disappear last year, and when you look at that and you say, gosh, he's only 29, he should be playing better, but
the miles wear on you. I mean, there's no question about that, but still, nonetheless, he's one of the few Packers players to get a third contract. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said about what his contributions have been. And I think that certainly there is the general philosophy that you want to give up on a player 1 year too early rather than 1 year too late.
Yeah.
And it's clear that Gutekunst was going in that direction. And Jerry Jones said, this guy is still a guy who is an elite player. He's on a very high dollar contract, and he's somebody who can contribute to the Dallas Cowboys. All of those things are true, but it's not what Micah Parsons is doing.
So the Packers, yes, they give up somebody that could still be productive for another year or two, but we didn't have to give up any of our edge rushers, any of our young guys, any of our guys who are in their rookie contract. Any of these other pieces weren't given up.
Let's go with the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah.
What if Jerry Jones asked for Edgerrin Cooper rather than asking for Kenny Clark? That's a much more challenging trade as far as how you're looking at it. And I think the Packers still do it, but they're thinking about it a whole hell of a lot more than with Kenny Clark.
Yeah, that's where we would go, ooh, that. Whereas Kenny, excellent, great Packer, wish him the best, but sort of expendable. Okay, we can live with this. We retain all that core of young talent, and we also offload Kenny's big contract as well.
Although we didn't really offload it, we prepaid most of it because of how we're dealing with the salary cap. So
we'll let someone else figure out the salary
but
cap.
I don't really care about that. Like we paid for it, but it's not the dollars. The dollars are not what matter. It's giving yourself a window.
Yes.
And what this trade did is give the Packers a very clear window.
This is a 2026 problem. Push that one down the road. It's get Micah Parsons into town, get him into camp, get him up to speed. Hopefully he is ready to play in 9 days in the home opener against the Detroit Lions.
But the other nice thing about this is going to be the buzz. Because remember, opening night, it's Philadelphia and Dallas. So there's a certain portion of this where Dallas and Dallas fans, how many times is this trade going to be brought up next Thursday night?
Buzz is an understatement, Jeff.
There's this kind of delicious, oh, yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, listen, I always love Cowboys Freude. Don't get me wrong. Cowboys Freude is always great. In this one situation, I don't actually give a shit about the Cowboys Freude because I care about what Micah Parsons is going to do for the Packers. I'm so excited about what he's going to do for Green Bay in this year and beyond.
This last 4 or 5 hours has been some of the most exciting 4 or 5 hours we've had in a long time, right? And that first hour, just sheer reading everything online, the joy of Packer fans and commenting with them and sharing with them. And you think back when they signed Reggie White in 1993, none of this existed. It was like
there's no social media.
And the Reggie White was just a complete shock out of nowhere as well, right?
But you were waiting for the sports section of the news to come on that night at either 6 or at 10, right? You're waiting for Bill Jarts to make an announcement on
Sports
Channel
Center.
2.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, then who do you talk to? You talk to your family because they're probably there watching TV with you, or we were in college or post-college at the time. It's such a different world in communication, and it was such an incredible moment once that match got lit.
It's a different moment, but in the end, the reaction is the same. It's like, holy shit, we did this. Holy fucking shit. Unbe-fucking-believable. It was amazing in the same way the Reggie White signing was amazing.
What's interesting is that Green Bay has been now involved in a number of these situations. Obviously, Reggie White, free agent. Reggie got a dump truck full of money, and all the other teams are like, holy shit, they're paying Reggie this amount. So now Micah has reset the market for non-QBs. The little team in Wisconsin setting these precedents for the rest of the NFL. I think that's another whole fascinating story.
Yeah, but of course we're not a little team because of how revenue sharing works and how our revenue dollars are. But yeah.
The publicly owned team.
Whatever. We've got a truckload of money too. We're worth $6.5 billion. It's just pure happiness. I think that's what it is more than anything, is that today is all about just like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Our team was really good. And I would say one of the side negative elements of this is that we recorded an episode last night in which we went through our season predictions. We're throwing that entire episode out. I will say that Jeff and I did pick the Packers to win the Super Bowl, but now
Probably holding on to that, aren't you?
I think we're
Fuck
going to keep
yes.
on to that. But now there's even more excitement from a team that we actually had a lot of enthusiasm for even before. And this was a team that was on the rise, and now they put in this additional piece that is going to take us to an even different level when we were already that excited.
And of course, Neil, the big question, the speculation of what jersey number Micah Parsons is going to wear. You're the one who put the picture up there, Neil. You've got him in the number 11. We already know that is Jayden Reed's number. I can tell you that at 4:00 when the news broke, I went over to the Packer Pro Shop website to try to see if I could make a custom Micah Parsons jersey. And the Pro Shop website was down at the time at 4:00. It's almost as if they knew what was going on. There's already speculation online. You know my point of view. That jersey number 1 can go back into rotation. Number 1 is not retired. There is no evidence that Curly Lambeau ever wore jersey number 1. They've got the stadium named after Curly Lambeau. We can put a big splash player like Micah Parsons in the number 1 jersey. And no matter what number it is, Jeff, they better make a lot of them, right?
Absolutely. For opening weekend. Packer Pro Shop. They just might as well print money, whatever jersey number he's going to get. I mean, can you imagine if they make Micah Parsons 1?
Oh my!
I'm buying that jersey. Like, here's my credit card. Just like here,
Yep.
Just give me that jersey in a double extra large. I
Well,
want
the other
that jersey.
speculation is giving Micah Parsons 11 and moving Jayden Reed back to number 1, the number he wore in college, the number they did originally give him when they drafted him, and they quickly had to rescind that because there's a lot of naysayers. And you know what? It's time for the old guard to step away. Even if Curly Lambeau got the number 1 next to his name in a program in 1925, it's been 100 years. I think we can put the jersey back into rotation. This is the time to do it.
It is, but you know what? If he ends up with 11, I think Mikey can say, Mr. Reed, here's a check. Can I have number 11?
Right. What number does Jayden Reed go to? That still no number out there, but I'm sure by the time this gets to post, Neil, it will be out there. But we're going to work diligently to get this one out there. And Neil, you mentioned it. We already recorded an episode last time that is getting scrapped. We have to redo our season preview, our picks for wins and losses on the season, and where we think this team is going to go throughout the postseason. That'll come next. What are your final thoughts for right now?
To win championships, you need to sometimes go for it. You need to make risky decisions. There are conservative things you can do. Those are perfectly fine for getting a consistently winning season. To win championships, you've got to take risks. The Packers did exactly that. I am so excited for this upcoming season.
Today's trade was seismic. We'll all remember where we were, whether it was at work. We found out in social media. This will be a day that will certainly be something that we'll all remember. And on our journey to the Super Bowl, this is just one piece. Go Pack, go.
And I hope everybody remembers this day and this moment when the Packer team loses a game this season, because you know that it is not going to be a good moment, because I think that the defense in particular will be under the microscope when that point comes. I don't even have to say if, you know when. You're going to lose a game during the season, and it's going to come out. So Packer fans, just relax, enjoy the day, and remember the day that we had, August 28th, 2025.
Possibilities and hope mean so much. I mean, so much of life is about how you look forward and anticipate the future, and hope for the future is where a lot of excitement is. And that's what today was so beautiful about. We saw this special hope for a different level for our team. Go Pack, go.
All right, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit subscribe and leave a comment. Find the GBC podcast at Green Bay Chat, all one word, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Blue Sky, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and on Facebook at the GBC Podcast Green Bay Chat. And you can follow us on any and all of those social media platforms. And may you fully appreciate the magnitude of your impending good fortune. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, today was
All right.
fucking awesome. Oh, yes.
Good night.